go on the master track and put 4 Maximus, 2 Fab Filter Pro L. Turn your volume up as high as you can. And then that's all. What's good, you guys? It's Lifestyle from LifeStyleDidIt.com, and today we are in the mixing tips part 3. This is the 3rd installment of this little segment, can't talk, that I'm doing. If you've seen it before, you know what I do. I get in here, give you a few mixing tips, things you could do. Follow me on Twitter. I always post mixing tips on there. I also always post mixing tips on Instagram in my story and whatnot, so make sure to follow that. Both of those are at LifeStyleDidIt. Let's get into it. The first one we're going to go over is going to be sidechaining. So I'm going to show you guys some ways you can sidechain your kick to your 808. The first one we're going to do is the kick to the bass or the 808. So this is the beat I have right now. And you see those play well together, but maybe we want to sidechain the kick to the 808 to get the kick to punch more, or we want to give it, that EDM effect. So we're just going to click the kick, you know what I'm saying? Click it like that. Go over to the bass or the 808, and right here, this little up arrow, right click it and put sidechain to this track. And then on the bass, we're going to get a limiter. So we're going to get the fruity limiter and then put it to compression. And on this sidechain, hit kick. And then literally now all we have to do is adjust the ratio and the threshold to tell it how much we want to sidechain. So we're going to go in here and just play, hit play. And you'll see as I pull down this threshold, boom, right there, it's sidechaining. Every time the kick hits, it ducks the bass. So if we overdo it a lot and then solo these together, watch when the kick hits, you'll see the bass drop. You see how it drops down? And if we go way, crazy with it and turn the ratio up, and you can hear it even more if we go even crazier. But obviously we wouldn't want it that much. So that's basically how you duck, your 808s. The next thing we're going to go over is reference tracks, and I speak about this a lot. If you're mixing in a room that's not treated, or you're on speakers that aren't very good, headphones, everything, just in general, really you need to be using reference tracks. But if you don't know your room too well, the best way you're going to be able to mix is on a reference track. And what that means is, let's say this beat sounds like a Jhené Aiko song, right? So we're going to go get something by her that sounds kind of familiar to this track. It doesn't even have to be her. It could be a Drake track, whatever. But something, we're not going to put a 808 Mafia trap beat in here to reference. But Jhené Aiko, maybe Kalani, something that has this type of vibe, and we're going to bring in their track and we're going to level it to the same level as ours and switch back and forth, and we're going to see how it sounds compared to a professionally mixed track. And we have this track. Obviously, it's been limited, it's been mastered, so it's going to be really loud. We need to go ahead and turn it down. So first we're going to go route it to the mixer, and we're going to bring it down and level, and now we can solo it just how we do here. And then we're going to go in here and cut it. Now we're going to switch back and forth and level this song with ours, and then we'll listen. So ours is a little bit louder. You can go a step further on the master and you can get some type of meter. So this is TT dynamic range meter, and we could watch her song and watch mine as well. Let me set this up real quick. You can get a sense of level around here. RMS is close to about 16.
I think we should do something crazy.
And hers is bouncing 14 to 16. So we know that right now these levels on our mix and her mix are leveled equally. I already mixed this beat, but you can already tell by switching back and forth, it already has a good, like the same amount of low end. The snare sounds nice and crispy. The beat's punchy. It's wide. The mix isn't thin, you know, things like that. So if we just listen. So you can see we're in the right spot. It's sounding good. It's not sounding thin. You know, our mix isn't sounding weak compared to this one. So we know we have a good standing point, right? Obviously, you're not going to mix everything the same because this kick is kind of filtered out. All the high end's filtered out, and the snare has a huge reverb on it, and it sounds good. On mine, the kick is more present, and the snare's very tight. It doesn't have reverb on it, right? So you're not necessarily copying that. You're just listening to this and getting a vibe for the frequencies that are in it, seeing, you know, example of something that was professionally mixed sounds good, and we can compare it to ours. So those are the 2 tips for today. If you guys did like this tutorial, thumbs it up, you know what I'm saying? You can follow me on all social medias at LifeStyleDidIt. Hit my website, LifeStyleDidIt.com for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy. Thanks.